This was painted in 2000. It's not a drawing. It's a vision. You see that flag is dripping blood. The Ankh at First Cross. Is this really the land of the free? You see that oil right there? That greed? You see that? That flying saucer, that other intelligence that's out there. And you see that orange moon. That orange moon showed 3 times this year, which is something that hasn't happened in thousands of years. 3 times. It's hard getting on this thing. I swear it is. This is light. This one right here is worth about a couple of $1,000s. That was given to me by a friend. Again, it's abstract. So whatever you get out of it, everybody sees something different. This painting in the corner. See, I take young kids and I show them what I did, because I never feel like I'm done. And I had a 12-year-old come by, very intelligent, goes to Walter Payton, which is one of the top high schools here. And I asked him, Zenny, feel like something's not done on here. Something's not done. He said, no, it's done. And I see the message that you're trying to send. And he looked at another one of mine, and he asked me, can I please take this home? Because I see what you're trying to say. Alvin Ailey, your first black choreographer, gay. His entire dance troupe, ballet. If you haven't taken your kids to see Alvin Ailey, please take them. And my favorite dance is Revelation. It's now being ran by Judith Jameson. One of the guys that danced with Madonna, Vogue. His brother and I were best friends. And I always knew his little brother was gay. His mother lost her oldest son to AIDS. And now her second son has it. He's just HIV positive. But he's living his life. And I cannot imagine what a mother would have to go through watching their sons. This one took me a long time to do this one. I knew what I felt, but I didn't know how to express it. And again, you see that other intelligence, and you see that beautiful continent of Africa. That one is a painting or a drawing. That was done in the early 90s. I used to give parties, and a friend of mine drew that to be one of the pluggers to the party. Told you I keep this around, so when I have white contractors come over here and do the work, I want it in their face. I want it in their face, so they'll never forget. Those that suffered the Holocaust taught their children, never forget. And they pay visits to Germany, so their kids know about it. Their kids know about it. But their saying is to never forget. This right here are postcards. I told you I collect postcards. If you read what's on the back of this postcard that somebody wrote about their vacation and how they talked about black people. Of course, we was the N-word, the stupid word. Postcards. Ancestors. Malcolm, you die. Put your life on the line. If you don't believe you're going to come back again, well, I shall believe. The Queen. The wide nose, the thick lips. The King. Wide nose, thick lips. That when you see statues now, the noses are cut off. The dream catcher. So your ancestors pay visits to you in your dreams. And my ancestor, my grandmother, where I get my high cheekbones from, the texture of my hair, these are who I pray to and talk to. The memories of the trips to Aruba, talking to my black brothers and sisters there. Puerto Rico, St. Martin, New Mexico, to the original slave, the indentured slave. The first black man on this earth that we celebrated today is Columbus Day. We celebrated today as Columbus Day. Wisconsin did change it to Indigenous Day. I can't forget it. I grew up with this. All in my mother's house. Everywhere you look, you couldn't forget it. But this was in your face from a child until you're 61 and your mother is 80. And no, they're not made in China. They're made over in the motherland. This is what our sisters should be doing. See, be able to sit and talk and not fight and scratch one another. That's what I call my sister. This painting, I did, it's the tree of evil, or the garden of Eden. I don't know why these little birds always appear. But if you look closely, you'll see that snake in there. That temptation. And you see that yellow moon. Way before that yellow moon showed this year. So you lived through a yellow moon, a blue moon, 2 red moons that looked like it was bleeding. You lived through 2 eclipses where it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon and then it gets pitch black. Are you aware in Alaska they have a whole section that people cannot go into? That section off, it's either a portal or something, but nothing sits there but that land. And again, how could this show up in Puerto Rico if Puerto Ricos were not black? Puerto Ricans are black. I watched daughters of the Geechees that landed on the outskirts of South Carolina and down in Florida. And back in 1902, they wanted to cross over, and the elders were trying to get them to stay, to keep their rituals and their rites. And yes, it started off with an elder praying in Arabic as the sun was coming up. And she tried to instill in her son about the ancestors, about how a person may transition, but they become your guiders. They become your protectors. And no matter how good life looked on the other side, they had an island. And you'll still find Geechees down there. So I'm getting ready to start my ritual and pull out my crystals. This thing right here is what I go to for guidance. Should I get off of YouTube? Are people really listening? No. When I bought this, I asked the person in Sedona to pick out one for me. And she explained to me that's not how it works. You put it in your hand. You hold it in your hand and you feel the energy. And when you feel one with the energy connects with, that's the one meant for you. This is used when you smudge your house. You use the feather and you want to move everything out. Open up your front doors, open up your windows, every door, and you burn your sage, and you smudge. You want all negativity to be released from you and your home. I could wear this every day, but I don't. That is tucked in gold and diamonds. Some things I buy to wear, some things I buy for my altar. This was purchased in Puerto Rico. I'm sorry, in St. Martin, on the French side. So you cross one street, they speak French. You cross the other street, they speak Dutch. And the island is nothing but blue, black, and Egyptians. And when I chose this, the jeweler that made it told me he had just finished it. And it's sitting on a large piece of crystal for that energy. All for that energy. I carry a bag of stones. But since this foot got jacked up, I sleep with them under my pillow. And the dreams are very, very, very vivid. Very, very, very vivid. The sacred cow. That's symbolizing what they do to bring black boys into manhood, to celebrate their manhood. And it's also used for arranged marriages. Because if a boy wants to marry, the family has to make sure that he's able to provide like the father and mother provided. And in their case, is cattle. So if you ever run into me, you gonna see a bunch of crystals. You gonna see me chopping it up with people I don't even know. But for some reason, when we meet eye to eye, a conversation starts up. That's all I got from my African mama. Kilimanjaro. Her shop is in Hyde Park. Very, very quiet. If this hadn't happened, I would be meeting with a shaman. And I would only be told the address and to show up. There was a trip to Africa 2 years ago that I wanted to go to, and she told me no. That the particular ritual that was going to take place, my spirit wasn't strong enough and I could possibly die. So she's helping me to work on my spirit and giving me the tools. She's from Northern Africa. My cousin's wife is from Kenya. So I'm learning and learning and learning. I promised I would put organic vegetable, organic turmeric, blue seed, black seed, oils, turmeric, you can cook with. Turmeric, you can take in liquid form. It's for inflammation. It's for pain. CBD is for pain. Doesn't have THC in it. And again, I tell you, nobody's going to be able to crack those hieroglyphics. Not as long as it's Europeans over there trying to crack. It's going to come from one of these little indigo kids that's going to go over there. And they're going to be able to crack everything that was written on those walls. Everything. Yes, it was great that they found the Black Sea Scrolls. But some of it was so deteriorated that it did mention that the Christ did kiss Mary on the mouth. And then the rest of it was eaten up. It's a lot they haven't found yet. And they're looking for the mother gold. And it's right there in those hieroglyphics. It's not going to be cracked by a European. They have the money. They have the tenacity. And they know it holds power. And we know how much Europeans like power. I chose this particular from learning from my cousin from Puerto Rico. They practice Santeria on which candles to burn, when you should burn them, the same way as we practice voodoo. It's in every South American island you go to. I'm rolling around now on one leg, and my back is about to go out because I'm scheduled for surgery in December on my back. But I'm not going to have it done. I'm going to pray on it, and I'm going to claim that I'm not going to have any more lead put in my back. I have lead now, titanium hinges and screws in my back. Then I looked up twins. When did twins first start coming around? You would think at the beginning of time. Nope. The first set of twins that's recorded was recorded in the 1500s. And I'm trying to wrap my mind around that, because if having multiple children at one time from one egg and one seed is natural, why is it that the first set of twins were not documented until 1525? That led me right back to Germany and all the experiments and all the knowledge that they had, that they allowed to come here and go to South America islands and still practice that. Cloning is nothing new. And again, I'm going to ask anybody with a brain, explain. We got all these names on here. Critical thinkers. I go over to Facebook. I'm in a group of critical thinkers, in a group of genetic background, in a group of reparations. And anybody knows, before you go in that group, you have to explain why you want to be in that group. And then the moderator of that group determines if you're going to come in or not. I'm in the Black Panther group because Fred Hampton's son, Fred Hampton Jr., has the baby cubs here that he's raising to be soldiers. They've been doing a lot of work in California. But this brother is out here when it's 50 below zero, like last winter. And he out here and he is working his ass off with the people. Yep, I was alive to see their house shot up while they was asleep. Over 1,000 bullets riddled that apartment. Caught them while they was asleep. That came from Old Man Daly. This is an Irish-ran city. And they became a problem. Yep, I was in school when Martin Luther King got killed. They weren't gangbanging then. But them Black Panthers walked from 67th and Stony over here, and they beat every white person they could find. Every white person they could find, they beat them. And took all the black kids and made sure that they got home safe. They would wait at the bus stops and walk the women home to make sure they were safe. So anybody doing work in California ought to know that Fred Hampton Jr. is right down there at California doing work out on the street. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to walk around with no fear